Here we go. Okay, so it's 2026. We know that chip prices are high, uh, computers are expensive. Technology hasn't really changed that much since, to me, since 2012. Not much has changed. 2012 PC can still run today. It might not be able to do much 4K if it didn't have 4K. That's the only drawback with that. Now you might say, get a video card and plug it into the PCIe port and run your video off of there. But you have to buy that thing. It's expensive. So you're going to bypass the built-in video graphics, because maybe you can go up to 1080p. But when you my chip can go up to 4K. Go to 4K. It's slow and sluggish. Processor cannot handle it. It wasn't designed for it, but yet it could. And then there's a lot of bus speed, memory speed, all that plays a part. So you run out and get a new computer. Then you find Copilots built in. Amazon Copilots on this device right here. I talk to it. It knows my name, knows everything about me. But if I get too technical and I talk too long, and there's a lot of data coming out of me, it crashes at AI. So having AI built into your computer, they call it NPC chip. That used to be called a network processing chip. Now they call it NPC. They can't call it AI processing chip. So that's what they come up with. So that chip is supposed to handle the AI. That's built into this device too. I have it on here. So this comes with out of the box 12 gig. I upgraded it. I took the internal memory, the storage, took 4 gig out of that and bring it up to 16. I can go higher. I think the max on this I can go 32. But I'm not going to take all that memory for that. 16 gig of RAM is good enough for this, to run this. And then it runs okay. I have no problem. I cleaned out this device completely and it's running. So this has AI enhancements for video and photography, all sorts of stuff. Better than the cameras I have. There's one camera I want to get, the R50 V. I can get it dirt cheap. But I still have to get the lens for it. The C50 from Canon would be good to get too. Did a lot of research on that, but it's a cinematic camera. It's going to cost money. It's like $3,000, almost $4,000. It's a lot of money. I have to have that kind of money laying around that I'm not even using it. Or I can take up a petition here and have everybody here. I don't want to get this into a camera channel, but if I had to, I'd do that. But right now, then I'll explain all this stuff that I have here now. But I'm not doing that. I don't want to bore all you guys there. But computers today are not like they used to be. A lot of people are having problems. Okay, they're not the same. Chrome OS. A lot of you don't want to use Chrome, but that's Linux. You like Linux, right? I have Zorin. Remember, I have videos on the Zorin. I had to turn it off. Every time I go to the Zorin share, well, actually it's a share NAS, Zorin NAS. It works. Tell me it can't authenticate the way it's set up with security. Then it's slow. You can't tweak. You cannot tweak the Linux. You have to go into the kernel and change it and upload it as a new update firmware. Then you can change it. I wish I can get my hands into that. And I would beef it up. I don't understand. They could beef it up right now. Why have it balanced like that? And then they say, well, it's a compatibility issues. Most people don't have fast PCs. Well, you're not getting the full benefit of it. When I do a speed test on that, I'm not getting this. Here, when I do a speed test on this, holy cow. Holy cow. It peaks to 2.9 gig for fiber. Wow, that's almost 3 gig. Yet I'm not paying for that. That's pretty good. This is 160. This is an Acer. They're out of the box. This is fast. And it's only a N4020. That's dual processor core with 4 gig of RAM. It still works. It's not touch screen. I mean, it still works. So it's Chrome. You hate that. Talk about Chrome OS. But Chrome OS, it's more stable than the Zorin. You gotta remember, I can take a code, make an OS, change the UI and UX. That's what they did. They changed the UI, UX, and come out with a different Linux operating system. They're all using the same basics underneath, but they could tweak it. If I could do it on the Android, they should be able to do it on the Linux, which is basically Android. There's stuff buried in the Wi-Fi that you can beef it up. I don't understand. And the CPU, you can beef up the CPU, the RAM, and they don't do it. A lot of them, some of them do it, but others don't do it. Can be unstable, crash. So they make all these computers to clone Windows, to clone Mac. You know, it's a shame. But they crash, and people run to Zorin. They run to anything they can because Windows 10, Microsoft says, we're not supporting it anymore. You can still run your Windows 10. You just have to. You can't run it for certain things. Yeah. You would have to make sure it doesn't really go on the internet. Make sure you don't use a browser. You just use it for whatever it is that you're using it for. And for that, or put in. They had I forget the name of it. There was a program. It was a companion for Windows 7, which you could use it in 10, and you can also use it in 11. What it did is give it added security and lock. There was a free copy. The company sent out a free copy, but then they didn't realize that the second copy that they made was locked down. But the free copy, the first one, gave you full access to everything they had. Hey, it's their fault. Hey, it works. He's just so upgraded. So that runs in the background. That gives you added protection if something tries to sneak in. Or you can do it on your router. But if you get the right equipment, you should get a web filter. It looks like a rack-mounted device. These are called Blue Coat. So Blue Coat would filter out anything coming in or anything going out for added security. That's how you have to run Windows 10 if you're going to keep it. Windows 11, it has its own security stuff. Chrome OS, this updated again. I got no problems with it. It's running the browser. On the browser, you can run apps, but for Google only. You can get into your Gmail. You can play your games. You can download games and play them on there if they support Android. It'll play the stuff on your machine. That's it. You're not going to be able to do anything else. All Google ecosystem. Google, Linux, Android, whatever it is. Play Store, it's the ecosystem. Whatever could run on it. That's how it works. And that's the way that is. Boom. So why do you want the other Linuxes? Because a lot of people are not going to use terminal. I can go right now, save a document. It can go to if the Zorin NAS was working correctly, it would go to Zorin. If I have my own NAS on a separate box, so with disk drives in there, it'll go in there. Because Microsoft does not want you to run no Samba by itself. They don't want you to. They want you to use their cloud system, so they make it program it. So you have to use their cloud system for everything. Because every time I copy or take a screen dump, it goes to the cloud. It tells me, hey, your cloud storage is running out of space. Then Google comes after me and says, hey, we have 100 Google One, we have 100 gig. I had all that. I don't want it again. It's hard to cancel it. Once again, it's hard to cancel it out. Very hard. They don't make it easy. I wish you make it easy. This is the way to do it, but I can't teach you how to do it because it involves double handing. Double handing means you have to call somebody else for somebody who handles something else to get them to do it. I don't think they'll do it again because it's hard hard to get the person in there. And most of real live people are gone now. It's all AI. So what should you do? Should you buy a computer? Some people are telling you to buy old. But you don't know what you're getting. If you can get a business mini PC, like a Dell or an HP, they're very good. I don't know about Lenovo. I only worked in one company that did the Lenovo mini boxes. They seem to be all right. but I installed the HPs and the Dells, so I have experience with that. I have a lot of equipment here. I can run those. I don't see those are selling for like under $100. You have Walmart, you have Amazon. The Walmart vendors, the way that works, you're directly with that vendor. If that vendor doesn't come clean and took your money, you can go and tell Walmart customer service. They will refund your money and they'll shut that vendor down. Amazon is a different story. First, you have to try to fight with the vendor. Vendor should be able to help you. If they don't, then you have to tell Amazon what happened. So it takes a little longer with that. That's how you do that. A lot of malware and stuff is being hidden on a lot of these computers coming from China. So I'm not saying that all, but it looks like, yeah. So, and then China has their own Windows clone, Harmony OS next, that you can use. But we here in the United States are very suspicious about that, so we're not going to put that on our computers because we don't know if it's capable of running, and it might be capable of running, but we don't know where it's, if it's going to contact China, if they're going to spy on you, get into your bank information. You don't want it. Bad enough already, their phone is tracking you. There's ways to disable all this stuff, but again, yeah, you the way you're living now, it's tough. They're tracking you. They know where you're going, and it's hard. Yeah. Here's something I have. This is pretty neat. This is supposed to be for the. This is magnetic iPad. Don't hold it around. iPads get hot. Well, it's Apple product. This, plug it into your laptop. Let's see. Is that the plug? You can plug this into the Chromebook. Plug the cable into it. I forgot I had this thing. Yeah. And it uses a chip to cool. There's a chip in here. And it brings the temperature down pretty well. So. Hold on a second. Let me get the light on. See, look at that. 70, 68. Not bad, huh? Yeah. That's how the temperature is. It's bringing the temperature down. Ooh, it's cold. Ooh. You know what you can really do with this? You can make your own air conditioning system by putting this on top and then getting it. That would defeat the purpose. See? Get that, go like that. Ooh, ooh. But this takes a lot of power though, and then it has a different color. You got 3 speeds. You see something here. $68, $69. That's pretty good. Well, this is how your air conditioning in the house and everything has to work. Oh, wow. Not bad. Nice and cold. Ooh. Freezing. They use a chip to do it. There's no pipe in there. You should be able to cool your motherboard with that too. But again, I don't know if you can hear the sound, the fan. Okay. So, PCs. Okay. So we know Intel has the top of line processor. They have multi-core, okay, core and core beyond cores. They have Snapdragon. So I think what's going to end up happening is Snapdragon will be more PCs will have that in there as they develop more features in it, because I can't really tell the difference between that and a regular PC. The Intel processor, if they improve on it, I'm not taking the what we have now and just keep on tweaking it. They don't come up with something more organic, more mainstream. And where's the transparency for for a laptop. Laptop should be transparent. We're still playing around with the bezel. But there's no transparent. Transparent's clear. Yeah, a clear. Yeah, clear. And your phone, transparent. They have carbon plastic. They have carbon, acrylic carbon polyurethane or polycarbon, I think it's called, where they can drop it on the floor and don't crack. It's as thin, it looks like glass, but it's not glass. They can have the phone, your smartphone, turn into that. Then if because Apple's are notorious for cracking the back screen. Yeah. They still make the same thing. The Apple still made the same way when they made the X. Now what they have, 18 Pro. What's the difference? Processor speed, storage speed, some more video features. Expensive too, but you'll buy it because you like Apple. Hey, no problem if you like Apple. Yeah, Mac OS. I think they're getting rid of the Mac Pro or something. I heard. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really follow those trends. I just use what I have. Oops. Albert's voice. Tech. So I tell you tech insights on this channel, and we're talking about CPU, computers and stuff like that. Terrifying. The evil AI bot scripters. Yeah, well, that does exist. People don't even talk about stuff like that. I saw that Bernie Mac was, not Bernie Mac. Sorry. Bernie Sanders. He was on there with Claude. He had a female voice. So he was asking Claude. But he talked to Claude like robotic. Talk to them like you would talk to regular people. Because it needs to learn. If you talk like a robotic, how is it going to learn? It needs to learn. It needs to understand. It's still learning. It's a work in progress. Bernie, you're a work in progress. We're a work in progress. You don't have all the answers. Or you wouldn't ask the AI questions about what can it do for us and how it can help us and what about the tracking and all the stuff that's going on with everything, because they allow it. There's no regulation. Everything is wide open. So, I just couldn't watch it. It's amazing. He had a computer, then a laptop, and a computer on the desk. So I guess, which was the best way for him to work with it, with a cell phone. I don't know I guess that's the best they can do is Claude. But Claude and ChatGPT, they're both running on that server thing they got there. They're both using the same system unless they change it. A lot of people say, "Oh, use Claude, don't use Chat." Yeah. I use Gemini or Gemini Pro or Gemini Java is in the browser or Gemini Pro. Gemini is in this because it replaced Google Assistant, which was pretty cool to have. Oh, I got a 71 score on my channel here. Wowie. The other thing I don't like about this laptop is it doesn't have touchscreen. It's a real pain in the neck. Well, so if you're gonna buy a computer, make sure you know what you want. Make sure you can afford it. You might say, "Hey, I'll go to China and go get one." Nope, it's gonna be expensive. You have to pay tariffs. You just can't. They're not gonna let you come back with it. You don't know what you're getting. You gotta be careful. Now you might say you might get one of those little plastic mini ones from China. Yeah, they're expensive now. You say, "Yeah, how come they're expensive? Why won't they be cheaper?" Well, because you made China make them rich, so now they know that they can sell things more expensive. They don't have to sell it like cheap. You want quality control. These lights, they have to have quality control. If you don't have no quality control, this light here I could use it on the phone. I can do it on I can turn it on. I can program it. That's pretty cool. Doing it the old-fashioned way. Well, anyway, I want to get this one out today. Any questions? A lot of you members came back here. Hey, that's great. Members and subs, you like this kind of stuff. I'll do it this way. I don't because you already there's so many channels already telling you what to buy. But you're the last call. Remember, you have to go into Best Buy. If you want to get a camera, you want to get if Best Buy is in your area, go in Best Buy and check it out. See if this is that what you want. You say, holy cow, this thing is tiny. Oh my God, this thing is expensive. Oh, this is heavy. Yeah, before you buy anything, go check it out at Best Buy. TV too, check it out. See if you like it. Don't just go by somebody's opinion online because they're telling it like it is. I would just tell you. But anyway, that's it. Oh, I look different? Yeah. Better lighting. Yeah, it's like that other guy, the other guy's channel there. I don't want to mention people's channels name there. But yeah, he had the same kind of lighting. He's out there. Anyway. But yeah, he does do cameras and stuff. You guys don't want to talk about that stuff, but you know, you need to because how are you gonna videotape? How you gonna do all that stuff? It looks clear now, huh? This is 10-bit 4K, higher resolution, really bright. Yeah. Well, that's the key to this is the lighting, better lighting, and the little fancy stuff. Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you again.